So in this session, we're going to continue to break down creating from the inside out, right? Creating vision, leveraging vision in a little different way than most are accustomed to. And so in a previous session, and if you haven't heard that one, you can go listen to it. We talked about the foundation of vision. And when we create our 4-part vision pyramid, we talked about the first component, the being part, right? The inner expression that we are living in life, right? If we're waking up in the morning and you wake up to joy, that's a great day. If you wake up in the morning and you feel happy, you feel fulfilled, you feel inspired, that's a great day. No matter what happens in that day, that's a great day if you can wake up to that and maintain that throughout your day. If you wake up in the morning and you wake up to anxiety and overwhelm and panic and fear and sadness and you're not sure how to get out of that, that's a tough day. That becomes a day that we're getting through. We're figuring out how to get through the day as opposed to loving the day we're living. And if we're not loving the day we're living, we're not going to love the life we're going to live, because the days create the life. The days create the life. If we nail the day, we nail life. If we don't nail the day, life's going to be challenging. So in my opinion, we've got to learn to nail the day, and then those days compound into something really extraordinary, an extraordinary life. And so we nailed that being component in a previous session. Go back, check it out. And so in this session, we're going to talk about the doing of life. So once we nail the being of life, then we get to sort of construct the next aspect of vision, which is like, what are we doing? What are we up to? So that first component is, who do I want to be? What is the inner expression of life I want to be inside of? I want to know joy. I want to know fulfillment. I want to know passion. I want to know deep connection. I want to know oneness. Like whatever that expression is that you want to live as yourself, that you're bringing to the world, that inner construction, that inner work, that inner training is the first component to vision, because that is what we're going to leverage in the things that we take action with, right? When we start doing things in life, it's our inner expression that defines the quality of those things we're doing. And so once we learn to manage emotion and we train those in a particular way, we learn to manage and train our thought in a certain way, that defines who we are in the world. That defines our inner expression of life. And then we take that inner expression of life into the things we do, into the experiences that we're having and the actions that we're taking. And so when we take action, right, and we're essentially in that doing piece, right, of life, it's like our inner expression defines the quality of what we're doing. And so if you think about the things you really enjoy, the reason you enjoy them is because of how you feel when you're doing them. Okay? A person that tells me they love working out, okay, they're one of those fitness fanatics. Like, they love working out because when they go work out, they feel confident, and they feel they feel proud, and they feel passion when they're working out, and they feel connection because they probably are working out with friends, and so there's a lot of connection there, and a lot of joy and a lot of love being shared while they're engaging those activities, right? Those individuals that tell me they hate working out, they don't understand why anybody does it, okay? They'd rather not move if they didn't have to. It's like, well, when I ask, how do you feel about working out? They go, I feel dread, and I feel overwhelmed, and I feel insecure, and I feel afraid, and it's like, I feel hatred. I actually had a person tell me, I hate the idea of working out. Like, I hate the gym. And so it's like, it's not the working out that's defining the inner experience, because, the majority of people, if we look at just the stats today, like, this is just a fact and a stat, obesity levels are at epidemic highs, right? People have never been, bigger than they are now. And again, I'm not shaming anybody for their size or anything like that. I'm just talking about a clinical diagnosis. And if you look at the rates of obesity today relative to, a decade ago, and you just look at the statistics, we're getting unhealthier is the point. And if we look at that and we go, man, the majority of people who aren't working out or moving every day, something we all know that if we did would translate to a healthier version of ourselves, and the healthier we are, that leads to quality of life, right? Like, if we're healthy, that up-levels the quality of life. If we're unhealthy and we're struggling with disease and, diabetes, and like our health is diminishing, we're waking up to pain every day, like, that's a diminishing of quality of life. And it's like, okay, well, if like, why is it that what's going on with these individuals that don't like working out and can't get themselves to go to the gym? And what is going on with the individuals that go every day? Well, they're bringing a different expression, inner expression, to working out. The individuals working out every day, they've linked it to confidence, and they've linked it to joy, and they've linked it to empowerment. And that's the inner expression that they feel while they're doing the workout. And those that aren't working out, they've linked dread to the idea of working out, and they've linked fear to the idea of working out, and insecurity, and some form of pain. And so all of a sudden, working out, right, the doing of working out is activating a different experience depending on who we are bringing ourselves as to the experience. And this isn't the case just with working out. Years ago, I went to the Grand Caymans, and I think I mentioned this in a previous training, where, you know, it was the first time I went on like a really nice vacation. You know, I saved up. It was a vision that I held for myself, and I was just having the time of my life. Like there was a passion and inspiration and joy and fun, and I was just having a blast because I'd never done anything like this before, right? And we went to the Grand Caymans together. It was me and my girlfriend, and you know, we rented this beautiful room on the beach. Like you looked out the door, and there was the ocean just right in front of the room. We stayed at a really nice hotel, right? We stayed at the Ritz-Carlton, and it was just such a fun week. We went diving and snorkeling, and you know, we played we played on the beach, and it was awesome. And it was interesting because I started looking around and just noticing where other people were, and what I saw on the beach in the Grand Caymans, all these other people on their vacation, was I saw so many people were stressed. And there were so many people overwhelmed. And I saw people kind of like bickering and arguing with each other. And I was like, man, you could be in this beautiful paradise and, you know, have this very luxurious accommodations. And even though that's what you're doing, that's what you're up to, those are the actions you're taking, that's kind of what the experience you've created for yourself, that experience is so much informed by the inner expression that we're bringing to it. If you're bringing gratitude to it, and adventure, and fun, and inspiration, and joy, man, that trip is going to be awesome. But, you know, people that tend to hate to travel, and they're bringing a sense of agitation and annoyance and, you know, anger, short-tempered to the same thing, it's like you're doing the exact same thing together. One person's lit up, and the other person's miserable. And so the doing of life is important to name, because if we don't name it and we don't carve it out, we won't make time for it. That's one aspect of it. We've got to make sure we're making time for the things that we love, because this is going to bring a lot more fulfillment to you, the doings of life, than the things that you own, the stuff that you have, okay? The money that you have, the wealth you create, the house you live in. Like, those are all awesome things. Those are niceties. But like, if we really look at where do we experience the highest levels of fulfillment, it's not because we've got $1 million in the bank. It's we're spending time with people. We're engaging activities we enjoy. We're going to, you know, shows, or, you know, theater, or we're doing dance, or we're working out at the gym, or we're riding our bike, or we're mountain biking, or we're skiing, or we're exploring nature. Like, when we're in the doing of life is where we tend to find the greatest fulfillment of life. And again, today, so many people, they get caught in just a routine of life that they didn't design, and they've gotten into habits of life that aren't what they really inspire to be doing, right? They just wake up and they kind of get ready for the day, and they drop the kids off, or, you know, they go through their morning routine, they go to work, they get done with work, they come home. A lot of people just watch TV, and then you're kind of tired and exhausted, and you go to bed, and you wake up and you do that again. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, if you just start carving out and you ask yourself, what do I love doing? What are the things that I bring a great experience to, or that activate a great experience within me? And you go like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna take an hour a day and walk in nature. Or I'm gonna take an hour a day, or an hour 3 days a week, and I'm gonna go watch a show. I'm gonna go to the theater. Or I'm gonna, you know, read books if you love to read and you're not reading, or whatever it is that you enjoy doing. Make sure you're orchestrating your life around those things. And it doesn't mean that you have to do those things all the time. I think people oftentimes, they go, oh my gosh, I need to become financially free, work as hard as I can, become financially free so I can be on the beach all the time, or I can play golf all day, every day for the rest of my life. And those are the most miserable people I've ever met, okay? So it's not about I have to do these things to be happy, and the more I do them, the happier I'll be. It's all about a certain alignment with these different things. But one thing is for sure, is if you're not orchestrating your life around the doing, around the experiences you want to have, around the action you're taking on a regular basis, you're going to miss out on what you could achieve and what you could experience. For a time in my life, I lived in Playa del Rey. I lived a half a block from the ocean. I had a luxury condo a half a block from the ocean. And the year I lived in that condo, I went to the ocean literally 2 or 3 times. Less than one handful of times that I go to the ocean. And I loved it. Like when I went, I was like, man, I should do this more. This is so nice. This is amazing. It was a 5-minute walk for me to leave my condo and be on the beach. And I only went when I had guests over because they wanted to go to the beach. And I lived in LA for years and almost never like went out and enjoyed the things. And so when I moved to Colorado, I remember one of the things I said was, man, I am going to make sure I'm in the experience of the things, and the things I'm doing are things that I love. I'm going to make sure that I am making that sacred time to engage the things I love doing, because it's so easy to go, I don't have time for that, or I'll get to that, or we just let it be that like thing we do 2 times a year as our like trip that we take in the summer, or maybe around the holidays or something like this. And guys, that's not enough. You got one life to live. You got to live it all out. You got to live the life you love, and you got to start teaching yourself to love the things that would benefit you to do. Right? We've got to learn to bring our inner experience to things that would support us to do, that would enhance the quality of our life. And then we've got to make time for the things that we just genuinely enjoy doing, that light us up, that wake us up. We've got to carve out time for that. So when I moved to Colorado and I bought a home by the foothills, by the woods, I have 800 acres, over 800 acres of private trails, 4 houses down from me. It's even less than a 5-minute walk. I went on a run this morning and I did a little warm-up walk up the hill. It took me 2.5 minutes to be on the trail. So I decreased my time by half. It doesn't take 5 minutes, it takes 2.5 minutes, right? And so, one of the things I did was 3 days a week, I'm either going to hike, or I'm going to mountain bike, or I'm going to ski. And I can do more than that, but at least 3 days a week, I am going to spend a minimum of an hour skiing, mountain biking, hiking as a lifestyle. What's the key word there, guys? Lifestyle, as a way of being. Now, the reality is I get up there pretty much 6-7 days a week for at least an hour now. It's part of how I just like incorporated it, part of my movement, my workout. But it started out 3 days a week. And I can't tell you the level of fulfillment that increased in my life because I just started to make sacred time for doing the things that I love, that brought me a lot of fulfillment, and that added to the quality of my life. So it doesn't have to be a lot of time, right? But it does have to be regular, consistent time, making space for things you love. Maybe you love building cars. Maybe you like tinkering in the garage. Like, I don't know what it is for you. Some people love making gardens and planting and, kind of playing around in the yard and doing stuff like that. Like I don't care what it is, but design it that way. Name the things, as we said before. What is the inner experience of life? That sense of being that I'm going to bring to my life as the first component of vision. And then the second component of vision, what are the things I'm going to be doing? What's the action I'm going to take? What are the experiences I'm going to engage in as a way of being, as a lifestyle? Number 1, week after week after week, I'm making some time for this, whatever that might be for you. And then, sure, what are the things I'm going to do 2-3 times a year as a special experience, right? One of the things that I did a while back as a special thing, just to see what it was like, it's not something I would want to do regularly, although some people like to do it regularly, was I took a cruise, to like 8 different of the Caribbean islands. It was like a luxury cruise, and I was on the ocean, and I never knew what that was like. So I went and I did that as a one-time thing. So name some of the one-time events that you want to have year after year after year. Like name, 2 to 4 one-time events that you're going to have as an experience every year, and then it'll change each year. But then name the things you're doing as a lifestyle that you're just making sure you're incorporating as your life, so you ensure that you're truly living a life that you love. And if you're not living a life that you love, It's time to start creating from the inside out and start truly, truly taking some steps to make sure you do that now today, because life is always shorter than we think it's going to be. And so let's start designing it and living it intentionally so that you truly live it all out in the way that you truly deserve to have. And so take a little bit of time and go, hey, what are the things that I want to be doing for myself because it just fills my tank, it uplifts me, it activates me in a special way, and start making space for that. And you'll find that will increase the quality of your life in so many ways. And in another session, we'll talk to you about the things that you own, the things and the stuff that you have, and sort of how that all fits in. But I always recommend think about that next, right? What's the inner experience of life I want to have? What's the sense of being I want to experience as myself? And then what are the actions that I'm up to? What do I want to do as the external experience of life I'm up to? What are the immersions that I'm up to, right? And then, okay, let's name some stuff we're going to own and how that plays into the space. And so enjoy, have a great rest of your day. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Remember, please commit to living the life that you love. And if you're not already there, let's take steps toward making that happen.